Can you control the violence living inside of you? Now it's time to burn, burn, burn. There's no hiding down from your fate. See them lying down on the ground. There's no hiding down from.
Well, welcome everybody. It's the show. Man, we got some killer stuff for you tonight. I'm glad you guys could jump in and hang out with us, and it's going to be a fabulous night. We have, as usual, our special fine guest that's with us every single night, Mr. Alexander the Great, better known as Based 14. What's up, big dog? We got some cool shit. What's happening?
Hey, this is what's up, man. That's what's up. I voted today. That's right. That's right.
Ooh, I love it.
Well, actually, I voted yesterday. Technically, I voted yesterday. I voted early, but I got the sticker.
All right. So,
well, let's start off with that. Rob, did you vote today, or did you vote early, or did you vote by mail? How did you vote?
That's top secret shit. I can't talk about.
That's top secret, huh? Can't disclose that information.
What do you want to know? Who I voted for too? Is that what you want to know?
I think we know who you voted for.
I'll tell you. I voted for Trump.
You voted for Trump.
They kicked me out. They said, "You know what? It's not even time for him yet. Get out." I said, "What do you mean get out?" I said, "Come on, early voting. You guys take those, don't you? Right here in Arizona, they take it. Yeah. I know what they did. They took it and threw it right in the trash can, like they did all the rest of them from a couple of years ago. Those son of a bitch. I'll tell you what. You know what? We voted for some really fine people. Okay. They're here. They won. I know they won. Okay. I can smell it in the air. I can taste it. It's there. And so, I'm sorry, what was your question again?
Did you vote today? Did you vote early, or did you vote by mail? How did you vote?
I voted by mail.
You voted by mail. Okay.
Yep.
You did vote early.
Did a drive-by on a mailbox and threw it through a big hole and said, "Good luck."
There you go.
Yeah.
So I wanted to mention to folks, they did what I did, and they voted at a voting center early. I did not vote by mail. I voted yesterday. And for anybody seeing the replay, I voted the day before the election. And I went ahead and went online to confirm that my vote was counted. And in Arizona, that's fairly straightforward. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for anybody that's in Arizona, because we are based in Arizona. This is the link that you go to the recorder's office and on their website, and you can get a result like the one I'm going to show you right now. Here we go. This is the screenshot. So this is my this is the site, Maricopa County Elections Department. You go on there, you submit your information, and then you put in there your early voting ballot status, and it will return, hopefully, with the results like the one that I got, which says your signature has been verified. Your ballot was counted. Do you see that in the green section there, Rob?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Did you get it verified?
Yeah, that's what this is. This is the verification
Oh, it
process.
is.
So I put the link in there for everybody. If you voted like I did, if you voted early, this is for if you voted at a voting center early. You go to this website. I put the link in the chat. Everybody can check it out. These are the results when I put mine in. I put mine in right before the show. And as you can see, it says your signature has been verified. Your ballot
I see
was,
that.
in
Yep.
fact, counted.
Awesome.
So apparently my vote did go through.
Okay, well that's good. That's good to know. I didn't have the opportunity to do that yet. I've been kind of working a little hard lately. Some people actually have the luxury to stay home or relax, throw their feet up, watch some football all day long. Hey, who won the World Series?
I have no idea. I didn't even follow it. I'm not really a baseball fan. So
Yeah, I used to be a long time ago, and something changed. I don't know what it was. All of a sudden, boom! I hear the World Series is on, and all of a sudden, next minute, it's over. Somebody won. I went, okay, who's that? So okay, so we don't even know who won. Okay, yeah. Well,
nope.
I'm sure.
I don't. I follow college football. I follow a little bit of UFC, and that's about the extent of it for me, as far as sports go. But
Cool.
I wanted to remind everyone, this is the Bad Bob's Election 22 virtual party, right? We're going to see if we're going to actually be able to celebrate tonight. I can give you a hand if you need a hand, Bob. Bad Bob. And hopefully I'll get to use the air horn. Hopefully I'll have something to celebrate. I even got the noisemaker ready to go. So for all you folks out there that can't go to one of those fancy election parties, I've been to two. I've been to two election night parties in my life, and one was for a city councilman candidate out of Tempe. I was supporting him even though I don't live in Tempe, and he didn't win. So I'll tell you, that's a real bummer when you go to somebody's campaign party and they don't win. It's like the most depressing thing like ever. I still remember the poor guy, the candidate.
Yeah,
he was just, because it was at a bar, and the candidate was just sitting there like he was just sitting there drinking himself to oblivion in the corner. He was so depressed. You know what I mean? He was, because we really thought he was going to win, and he didn't. And the funny thing is, I actually was on the campaign for another council member in Chandler. I actually worked on his campaign, and he did win, and we didn't even have a party, and he won.
Wow.
So that kind of was a bummer, because so I didn't get to have that experience. But the other experience I had, in fact, my brother was up here a little bit earlier, and we were talking about it because he was asking me if I knew about anything going on. And I said, well, other than the candidate parties, really, I don't, because years ago when Trump was first running for president, one of the local radio stations did a party right down the street from me. You know, I live in near Old Town Scottsdale, and they were doing a party down there. I went to it, and to be honest with you, my intention was to drink myself to oblivion because I was convinced Trump was going to lose. Everybody said Trump was going to lose, right? That's what all the polls said. So I went there. I had a lady friend with me, and we went out, and I was just pounding it, man, because I was like, I remember, you remember Senator Kyle from Arizona, yep. Senator Kyle. He actually came on. They called him. He wasn't there, but the radio station called him at home to ask his prediction. He said that he didn't think that the Republicans were going to win. And it was a very Republican crowd, so they booed him. Everybody booed him and was just like, no. But that's what he kept hearing. And it was funny because, you know, that election, that was a long night. Anybody, I think, you know, alive then remember that was a long night. And the party was over, and they still hadn't called it, right? The party's over, that they're taking the chairs, and, you know, I'm close enough that we walked home, and I'm stumbling, right? Because I've been drinking all night and all that kind of stuff. And the next thing you know, we come through the door, and my brother is sitting on the couch, and he tells me, Trump won. And I'm like, really? No freaking way. And then I'll never forget. I was watching on the TV screen Trump with his son, that very to me, an iconic image of Trump with his son standing next to him. I think it was his son on one side and Pence was on the other. I always thought that was really interesting that when he did his acceptance speech, his victory speech, he had his son, his young son on one side, and I think Pence was on the other side, his vice president. And it was just such a crazy moment because I think everybody pretty much was convinced he was going to lose. But since then, I haven't had a chance. In fact, I'll tell you this. I was helping a candidate. I won't say what office. I was helping a local candidate here in Scottsdale during the last election cycle. And I actually was out at a voter center campaigning. Okay. And it was hot outside. It wasn't like it is now where it cooled off. It was still hot like 2 years ago, being outside. And I was out there. And the funny thing was, the voting center I was at, the opposing candidate was there campaigning. So I was there representing this one campaign, and then the actual candidate, the opposing candidate, was there representing themselves, right?
Yeah.
So I worked. I was out there literally competing with them with flyers and stuff. That candidate didn't even invite me to their party. I didn't even get an invitation, but they lost anyway. So I guess I got the last laugh on that one. So yeah, they didn't even invite me, even though I was out there in the sun working for them. So. But we're gonna have our own party, right, Rob? We're gonna have our own party. So.
Damn right, we're gonna have a party. Damn right, because I already know what's happening. Hey, just so you know, a little bit of disturbing news out in Arizona with Kerry Lake. Just so you know, 30% of the machines failed. To the voters. Voters are pissed. They're standing out there for a long time. By the time they get to the vote, they find out 30% of the machines don't even work. Had to turn them down. Had to turn them off. Yep, Kerry Lake got on TV, just blasted them. And
yeah, it's
talk about shenanigans. Oh my God. And you talk about and then people were walking out. They were walking out of the voting halls. And she put the word out and said, "Don't leave. Don't let them do this to you. Don't do it. Stay. Well, they're going to fix it."
We do obviously have some stuff going on here in Arizona, and here's basically the latest, right? So we've got sort of breaking news, if you will, here. So there was some controversy in Arizona regarding these machines in Maricopa County. It was only Maricopa County that I am aware of, but Maricopa County had several machines go down early. And by the way, I found out about this during my workout in the morning, Rob. I was watching the TV and I was like, I can't believe this crap. You know what I mean? Again, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, this was like, I think like 9 a.m. they're first reporting this. And I was just like, I can't believe this. So anyway, this is the latest. This is from AZ Family 3 TV, which is one of our main local news channels in the Phoenix area, which is Maricopa County. It says a Maricopa County judge has denied a GOP lawsuit to extend poll hours and delay the release of voting numbers. Okay. So this has been denied. As of right now, it is 7:40 Arizona time. Now, I know this is going to confuse some people if you are not in Arizona, because you're probably thinking, isn't Arizona on Pacific time? Not right now, we're not, because Arizona doesn't change for daylight savings. We stay the same. It's all the rest of you that change. We don't. So we're actually the same, but you might think that we changed. But so our polls have closed. It is 7:41 local time as we're doing this broadcast. And our polls have been closed. That lawsuit, that hearing, which, by the way, I got to hear a little bit of it, but I was having trouble with the connection. That hearing already happened. The judge has made his ruling, and the polls are closed in Arizona, except for folks that got in line before 7 o'clock. and we won't
That's
know
right.
for a little while how many of those
That's right.
polls are still open. Now, the very first numbers, according to the Arizona State, Secretary of State office, which is one of the candidates, Katie Hobbs. She's our Secretary of State. The first numbers are supposed to come out at 8 o'clock Arizona time. So that's 7 o'clock Pacific time. 9 o'clock? Right? 9 o'clock. No. 10 o'clock.
Eastern time.
10 o'clock Eastern time. Because
That's
they're 2 hours later over there. So it's a little confusing because we just had the daylight savings time change. So we're going to be having in about 15 minutes, hopefully, we were going to have the first results out of Arizona. I have got the link ready to go for Maricopa County and also the Secretary of State office. So at 8 o'clock, I'm definitely going to be telling you it's time to check and see if we got any numbers. And we're going to take the numbers, not from the media.
Camp, here's some live stuff. Camp, 52%.
Which station do you have on in the background there, Rob? What are you watching there?
Oh, this is Newsmax.
Okay, you got Newsmax on? Okay, cool.
Yep. Kemp,
all right, so
Kemp surpassed. Go ahead.
This is which race, by the way? What race are we talking about?
That's Georgia.
In Georgia.
Okay. Yeah, that's
it'll come back. That's for which position? That's for what position?
That's for governor.
For governor. Okay. Governor of Georgia. Yeah, I think they called that one. And speaking of that, we've got quite a few races that have already been called that I think people are interested in. So let me pull some of those up. We've got a couple races that were called very early. I think these races basically, they were kind of like almost no contest. So let's talk about somebody that we've talked about before. I know that you're a big Trump supporter, but this is the guy that I think might have the momentum to be the next Republican candidate for president, and this is going to help him. So this is from the Associated Press just an hour ago. DeSantis defeats Crist, wins second term as Florida governor. It says Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis has won re-election to a second term Tuesday and a victory over Democrat Charlie Crist, bolstering his rise as a prominent GOP star and potential White House ambitions. So he has won. And this was called almost immediately. That DeSantis has achieved victory in Florida.
That's because he opened up all the schools and let everybody, kept the businesses open and said, hey, you guys are grown adults. You can do what you need to do to make sure things are working out there. And did. Right in the middle of COVID. Yep.
And then also, speaking of Florida, a lot of activity, obviously, in Florida right now. A lot of people are looking at Florida. We also have, let's see here.
Mr. Rubio.
There we go.
I believe he's Puerto Rican. Is that correct? Is he Puerto Rican?
That's a good question. I don't know if Marco Rubio is Puerto Rican. That's a good question. I do not know the answer to that. But he has won the race for Florida Senate, and there's actually some numbers here. So with, let's see, 88% of the vote in. This is from Politico.com. 88% of the votes in. He got 57.7% of the vote.
Wow.
His opponent got just over 40%. So I would say that was a pretty sound thrashing of the Democratic candidate. And Rubio has definitely showed that he is still popular in Florida.
Yes. That's awesome. Yeah, he's so we know that those two guys for sure. We knew they were going to win. Everybody loves them because they actually treat people good, and they do what they say they're going to do. So we got no issues with those people. Well, you got anybody else in front of you there that's
Well, there are a lot of other races that have been called. I'm actually going to go to our Twitter feed because I've been tweeting stuff constantly, just constantly since I got home, essentially. So let me kind of go down.
Oh, so he's Cuban.
Cuban. Okay, there you go. All right.
He's Cuban.
So let's see here. Lots of races have been called. So we got Marco Rubio. We've got obviously DeSantis. Maura Healey. She won for Massachusetts. She was a Democratic Attorney General, and she's the first openly gay person and first woman elected as the Massachusetts governor. And she did beat a Trump-backed opponent. So they've called that one. So that's a win for the Democrats there in Massachusetts for the governor's office there.
Massachusetts.
In Maryland, the Democrats also have a victory with Democrat Wes Moore. He's won the Maryland governor's race, becoming the state's first Black chief executive. He is a best-selling author, and he also defeated a Trump-backed Republican candidate. So those are two big victories for the Democrats. Bernie Sanders is congratulating Peter Welch. He is going to be basically the other senator for Vermont, Democrat. So Bernie Sanders is obviously happy with that one. We've got some other races that have been called that are pretty prominent. This one is getting some attention in Florida. It's not all bad news for the Democrats in Florida. Democrat Maxwell Frost, he won a House seat in Florida's 10th district. He is going to be the first Gen Zer, the first Zoomer to serve in Congress. God help us all, folks. God help us all. But we have now officially got the first Zoomer in Congress, or elected to Congress, because he hasn't taken office yet. So the first Zoomer.
Okay.
Got a lot of stuff about lines. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, you remember her?
Yep, she won.
She's a White House press secretary. She has been elected as Arkansas's first woman governor. And this was called by the AP like an hour ago. So she's already been called as I honestly didn't even know about her, that she was running. I didn't even realize that she was running for governor of Arkansas. But she won. They're calling it. They're saying that she's in. Awesome. So
she's awesome.
Vermont,
another person speaks her mind.
In Vermont, there's some good news for the Republicans in terms of the governor. The governor who was he's an incumbent. So Republican Phil Scott, he did win re-election as the governor of Vermont, which just shows you. I've actually lived in Vermont, Rob, which just shows you how unique the politics of Vermont is. They've got Bernie Sanders and this other Democrat now in the Senate, but they have a Republican governor. That's just the way Vermont is. It's a really unique state. You know what I mean? So the Republican governor of Vermont has, in fact, won re-election. They're calling that one. In Rhode Island, Democrat Daniel McKean, he wins his re-election. So he was an incumbent. He won. I don't believe that was seriously contested. I never heard anything about it. Taylor Greene, she has won her race for Georgia's 14th district. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know that's someone that's
everybody loves her
on your list. What's that?
Yeah, everybody loves her. She's wonderful.
Well, not quite everyone, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Well, you don't like her?
We've got Republican itself. No, I'm just saying that. Well, I'm not going to say one way or the other. To be honest with you, I don't know a lot about her. But but one thing I do know is she's very controversial, and there's a lot of people that do not like her. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people out there that do not, especially on the left. Republican Keith Self, he has won a U.S. House seat in Texas' 3rd congressional district. We've got Republican Henry McMaster. He has won his re-election for governor in South Carolina. Again, that's one that I doubt was very highly contested. Rand Paul just put out a thing for thanking everyone for the support in Kentucky. I didn't realize he was even up for re-election, quite frankly, which is funny because he's like my favorite politician. We've got, again, that news that we mentioned before, that the vote centers have closed in Arizona. So unless you're in line, you're SOL. It's over as far as voting in Arizona. There is some news that Herschel Walker does currently have the lead for U.S. Senate in Georgia currently, and this is 46 minutes ago, so it might have changed. But as of 46 minutes ago, Walker was leading 49.3 to Warnock's 48.9, with only 55% recording. So obviously that can still flip, but some good news so far for Herschel Walker in Georgia. And good news in Texas, I feel like. I will say I think this is very good news for Texas. Republican Texas GOP Governor Greg Abbott has defeated Democrat Beto O'Rourke. I am not a fan of Beto O'Rourke. What about you, Rob? I am not a fan. I have to say that. And I was just. I honestly wonder sometimes how this guy thinks he can get elected in Texas, but apparently the Democrats think he can do it. They think that they think, in my mind, if you want to make Texas say purple, right? Because pretty much everybody says Texas is red. If you want to flip Texas at least purple, let's not try to flip it blue, because let's be realistic here, okay? Let's be real, okay? I understand if you're a Democrat and you think you can get Texas, you can't, okay? But you want to make it purple, right? Have a Democrat governor with a Republican legislature, okay? Make it a purple state. This is not the guy that's going to do it, in my mind. You know what I mean? I just feel like this guy is such a terrible fit for Texas, and I don't even live in Texas. I just feel like, what are the Democrats thinking? Why do they keep running this guy? I mean, this guy doesn't like guns. If you don't like guns, you are not going to win in Texas, right? I mean, that's just not going to happen. It's Texas, right?
We also say he's going to become maker of guns too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's how do they think that this guy can win when he's so extreme? I mean, it's just not going to happen.
There is something wrong with that guy too. They made a big thing about him because he used to wave his hands all over the place constantly. And they had this big ordeal over that. And they used to talk about he uses his hands to speak to you. Well,
you're talking
some
about
people were actually, they actually offended a lot of people by the way he was waving his hands. And people didn't get it. They thought that he was he had some issues. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? But he offended a lot of people by doing that. I know it sounds stupid, what I'm saying, but for real, they actually talked about that for a long time. I watched this whole thing on it. It was really, really stupid. Really stupid. What is it, kid?
That sounds pretty weird. Now, these are some older numbers. This is almost an hour old. But this is definitely a race that people are interested in. This is a U.S. Senate race in Pennsylvania. Fetterman is showing a huge lead, but this is 8%. So this is really nothing. Okay. So, and the AP here at that time said that less than 25% of the votes have been counted, but at that point, there's a huge lead for Fetterman. He was leading by 75% over Dr. Oz. That is a race that I know a lot of people are watching right now.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec here. Let me take care of something real quick. I'm going to be standing right here. Hold on.
I can tap dance. One that I'm sure that Rob is real happy about is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC. She has won re-election in the U.S. House in New York's 14th Congressional District. I do not think that is much of a surprise to anyone. That is a very solidly Democratic district, as far as I understand. And of course, she is a rising star in the Democratic Party. They are calling that, at least on Election Wizard, they called that 45 minutes ago. But I don't think she was very seriously contested. So I think that's about all that I have as far as. We do have a House seat in Pennsylvania. So Brendan Boyle, Democrat, has won the race for the House seat in Pennsylvania's 2nd district. That was called about 36 minutes ago.
Serious?
Politico. Brendan Boyle.
How
That's for a House.
Even.
What's that?
No, there's something going. There's something going on, man. Some of these people shouldn't even be thought of for running for anything. There's something fishy going on with a couple of those races. I'll tell you right now, Pennsylvania, everybody's staring at them just like they're staring at Arizona right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They are, and it's really being watched. I mean, some crazy stuff going on out there. I don't know if you guys know this, but Mike Lindell and his crew have lined up. They've gotten. He's not going to say a word. And I watched the interview last night, and he was talking about what happened a couple of years ago with the voting with Trump and stuff, on how the machines were broken into wirelessly and hardwired, and the cyber experts, the ninjas, and all those guys that came out to dispute it all and did the audit and stuff, they found out exactly what happened. So what Nell did this time is he set up, and he straight out said it last night, he set up a whole crew, not just one crew, crews, plural, and a lot, and he won't say where they're at. And they're all sitting out inside these undercover vehicles outside the voting, big areas, big stuff like Arizona, Maricopa, Pennsylvania, Iowa, all the swing states, Georgia. He won't say that that's where they are. That's where everybody believes they are. They are monitoring all the machines. And they're still using, 2 years later, they're still using the same machines. So they've parked their vehicles outside these areas, and they are being monitored live, wirelessly too, to see if there's any, what do they call that? Not modulation, but generating number. It'll come to me in a second, but there's a system that they use to monitor modulations coming off of computers wirelessly, and they can see if it's being hacked. That's what it comes down to. And they're sitting there waiting to see where the alerts are going to hit. And right now, some of these people that you're talking about, I can tell you right now, they should never even came close to it. And I'll just leave it there. I'm not going to even say their names. I can see who they are. And they shouldn't even be there at all. They should be losing a lot, because the people of Pennsylvania, Georgia, the whole United States, everybody's suffering. Everybody. And these guys can't promise a good hamburger off the grill. I mean, these guys are just, they're nasty. And
good hamburger.
You know,
I like
it. They can't. And how
well,
dare
Rob,
they win?
We're coming up on that time, man. So let me get through these races real quick, because we've got the important.
Hit it.
We got to hit that see if that data dump is happening. We've also got Democrat Daniel Goldman. He won his election for the U.S. House in New York's 10th congressional district. Obviously, we talked earlier. Abbott was called against O'Rourke, the fine candidate, the fine Democratic candidate for Texas. Again, I just do not understand. I'm just going to say it one more time. I don't understand why the Democrats keep running this guy. There are moderate Democrats, you know.
Yeah,
I'll use
absolutely.
our state as an example. Someone like Sinema, she might be able to become governor of a place like Texas. You know what I mean? But this guy, it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? And I don't know why they keep running them, but I guess they just given up. Everybody's favorite, Charles Schumer. He's been reelected. He defeated Republican Joe Pinion.
No, he did not.
So,
no, he did not.
Well, they've called it for Schumer.
Oh my God.
Also, we've got the veteran representative Whip Clyburn. He's got his 16th term in Congress, defeating Republican Duke Buckner in South Carolina's 6th district. That's another one the AP has called. Obviously, I talked about AOC when you were gone, Rob. AOC has been projected to win.
Of course.
Matt Gaetz. I have actually seen Matt Gaetz in person speak. I went to a rally where he was speaking, and he's been called as well, that he has won re-election. He is a definitely sort of a lightning rod on the Republican side. There's a lot of criticism of him, but he has won. He has defeated Rebecca Jones in the race for Florida's 1st congressional district. And this is an hour old race update for the governor of Georgia. Kemp is showing ahead at 51.92%. Stacey Abrams behind at 47.51%. So Republican gubernatorial candidate is winning there. So let me go ahead and take this off, and let's see what's going on in Arizona. Let's get to the raw numbers and see if anything's on there. So we've got the election. Let's go look at Maricopa County. Maricopa County, of course, was a little bit infamous last year, right? So let's see if we've got anything going right now for Maricopa County. This is the Maricopa County Elections Department site. This says that it was last updated. So let me refresh it, because it says it was last updated in October. And there should be results coming in. Let's see if we've got anything. It does not look like we do. Wait a second. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We've got our first results, Rob. We got it. All right. Ballots cast for U.S. Senate. Ballots cast for U.S. Senate. We've got 843,333. That's a turnout of 34.63%. Much lower than I thought it would be, actually. That doesn't seem like a very high turnout. Only less than 35%. But Mark Kelly at this point is showing a solid lead over Blake Masters. We've got Mark Kelly with 494,944 votes, 59% of the vote. Blake Masters is showing 323,519, or 39% of the vote. And Mark Victor, who we mentioned on a previous show, he is the Libertarian candidate. He did endorse Blake Masters, but he's still on the ballot. So these are probably protest votes for people that don't like either candidate. There are still 18,780,000 votes going to Mark Victor, despite the fact that he dropped out of the race because he's still on the ballot. You know what I mean? Plus, he actually was he didn't do his endorsement before early voting started. So I'm sure there's some people that voted for Mark prior to his endorsement of Blake Masters. But these are our first numbers in, Rob, on our very closely watched Senate race. It does look like Mark Kelly has a big lead over Blake Masters after this first dump of numbers. Your reaction?
Yeah. Just what I was talking about. These are the people that I'm telling you about.
Now, this is Maricopa County only. We will go to the state to go see if we can get some state numbers. This is Maricopa County only. Only Maricopa County.
That's right.
And these are the first numbers coming out. Okay, they were supposed to come out at 8 o'clock. It is 8:06 p.m. Arizona time. These are the very first initial numbers. Like I can't see here what percentage of the votes are still outstanding. Okay. That's what's one thing I cannot see. So
Well, yeah, 'cause
actually, you know
the
what? I think
machines.
this turnout number might mean actually, I think this is labeled wrong. I think the turnout number, what that is the percentage of ballots, right? I think that's actually what that means. So because I see the numbers different down here for one of
Yeah, it's 34% of the ballots.
Okay, so I'm interpreting this as less than 35% of the ballots have been counted at this point. So there's still a large number of ballots outstanding. This is where things stand right now as far as the votes that have been counted. So there we go. I think that's what we're looking at. We do have several other races in Arizona. This is my district, by the way. And it is U.S. Representative District 1 in Arizona. Ballots cast 211,452. Says turnout is 41.85%. So I believe what that means again is that's how many ballots have been counted. So it's still less than 50% of the ballots. They are showing a solid lead for Democrat Jevin Hodge. He is showing 57%, 117,366 votes, compared with David Schweikert, who's the incumbent. David Schweikert is my representative, actually. He's showing 43% of the vote, 89,130. I'm curious, Rob, do you know much about my congressman, David Schweikert?
Nope. I have no idea, but considering it's gonna be the same answer for everybody, for me, unless they've done something for Arizona. It's not even real. There's something going on. I can tell you right now. It should be a complete blowout. It should be completely.
The conventional wisdom says that most Republicans vote on voting day. In other words, the conventional wisdom says most Democrats vote early. What that means is when we see the initial numbers, they should be skewed Democrat. That's what the conventional wisdom says. So this is consistent with what I understand of what the initial numbers should be, because again, the conventional wisdom is that Republicans vote on voting day, Democrats vote early.
Yeah,
that's the conventional wisdom.
But considering what the public of the United States of America, let alone Arizona, has gone through in the last 2 years, that number is pretty disturbing for me. I mean, just be honest with you. I mean, I don't believe it. There's no way a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, can, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. This is kind of crazy, but go ahead.
I am not familiar with District 2 in Arizona. I don't even know which candidate is which, but right now it's showing Tom O'Halloran with a lead, a huge lead. But do you see the number of votes? This is pretty funny. Do you see the number of votes?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's 82
votes
versus 10 for his opponent. So that's obviously something we don't even really have to talk about. They barely got anything.
Yeah.
I think what happened there is that, at least one voting center got in some votes, and that was about it. So Gallego, I am familiar with this man. His wife, of course, is the mayor of Phoenix. He represents District 3. He is showing a wide lead over Jeff Zink at 80% to 20%, 56,371 to 13,718. My understanding is Gallego's district is pretty safe. It's a pretty heavily Democrat district. That's my understanding. What's yours, Rob?
Same answer. I can't believe it.
I haven't heard much about Gallego's race, and Gallego's fairly prominent out here. I think he's kind of a nut, honestly, but he's pretty prominent, and I feel like he's pretty safe. I don't know if Jeff Zink has any real chance of winning against him.
I'm probably going to say it for all of them. I hate to say it, but I am. I mean, if this was 5 years ago, I wouldn't have said this at all. It would have been good luck. He did something cool. He took care of his people, but no Democrats took care of their people. Nobody did. Even a lot of Republicans are part of that group too. I'm just being fair. There's no way the 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 Democrats are responsible for what's happened to the United States of America. It's everybody knows it. So how can you show me a 20%, a 50% mark, votes in, and they're 80% already. This is only 22 turnout.
Yeah, it says
votes.
turnout here is only that's we've still got a lot of votes, but my understanding is that Gallegos district is pretty solidly Democrat.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Don't tell me that those people aren't starving to death. Don't tell me that. And don't tell me that their gasoline, unless every single one of his, not every single one of them, but 90% or 80% are rich. And then gasoline, food, big stuff, kids, feeding kids, baby formulas, stuff that still hasn't been ironed out yet. Everything's fine. So let's go ahead and let's vote another Democrat into office. Don't even go there. That's not even, man, that's so disturbing. I can't wait to see that number tomorrow. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, again, these are just the initial numbers. But
like
I
just
said,
even that even that being the initial number, I can't even see it being that far out. That's pretty disturbing. Even that far out, that's really crazy.
Well, in District 4, we've got Greg Stanton sitting at 63%. He's showing 88,677 votes to Kelly Cooper, who's at 37%, 52,206. This is another race I'm not very familiar with. I'm not really familiar with either candidate. What's that?
Is Greg Stanton a Democrat?
That I honestly can't tell you. I can look him up real quick.
Yeah.
I'll look him up real quick.
I don't. Yeah, it's Greg, not showing. It's. I don't know Greg myself Stanton, either, but because he's got a 50% lead.
He's a Democrat. He's a Democrat.
He is. See, 50% lead right now at 30% of the votes counted. Come on, man! I'm telling you, everything that you've shown me so far is all Democrat. And they're almost double the votes. And don't tell me everybody in his district's not starving to death either. All right, let's move on.
But again, I'm going to say it again, Rob. The conventional wisdom in our state is that Republicans vote on voting day, Democrats vote early, and that so you expect, at least I expect, that the numbers will favor the Democrats initially. It's once the ballots from today start to come in, that's when you should start seeing a big turn where these races should tighten up significantly or even have a complete blowout. You know what I mean?
I just want to whine and bitch about it until the very end here.
I got you. And these are just the first numbers.
I'm telling you, I'm really surprised to see it even like this right now, considering what everybody has gone through. And we're still going through it. Some people, you can't even walk in the store, some of these stores without a mask on your face. My wife, she works where she has to wear a mask still. And it's like, wait a minute, that's been over for a while. But it's their policies, and it's the policies of what's happening right now in society. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's pretty wild.
I would agree with you.
I did.
We've got the 5th district in Arizona. Andy Biggs. I am very familiar with Andy Biggs. I've met him a couple times. Andy Biggs is showing a slight lead. He is in a very heavily Republican district. I know that. He's out there in Mesa. Andy Biggs, he's showing with 35%, it looks, of the votes counted. 65,677. He's got 47%. He's up 1 percentage point against Javier Garcia Ramos, 63,505, 46%. So I'm actually going to go with a prediction here based on what I've been saying, and my conventional wisdom, as I keep calling it, that Andy Biggs is going to blow this mother effer out of the park. It's not going to even be close. I'm gonna call it right now and say that Andy Biggs is going to win big over Mr. Ramos. What do you think, Rob?
Okay. Well, that's where it looks right now. That's for sure.
There is a third candidate. Okay, there is a significant third candidate. I don't know if he's libertarian, but it does show Clint Williams Smith. He is polling. Not polling. These are not poll numbers. These are votes. He is showing 7% vote, 9,344. So that's interesting. So there is somebody in the race that's providing a little bit of a spoiler. I don't know if Clint is a green or a libertarian or independent, but that is something to watch. I did not see that. So I guess for my prediction, I'll have to take it back a little bit because I don't know how much of a factor this person is. I did not realize there was a third person in this race on the ballot. So I know Biggs is, I think, pretty popular, but I don't know if Clint is a libertarian, because if he's a libertarian, libertarians tend to take votes away from Republicans. That's just the reality of it. If they're green, if he's a greenie, they tend to take away votes from the Democrat. I don't know what Clint is. I'm going to look it up real quick. Let me just look this guy up.
Yeah, so matter of fact, I get.
What's his name?
I got him up right.
Can you read it for me? It's Clint what?
It's Clint William Smith.
William Smith, District 5, right?
Yeah.
Clint Smith for Congress. Bringing integrity back to. I'm actually reading from his site. I do not see anything that says what his party is. Independent.
Oh, he's an independent, huh?
That's what I'm finding on the website I just went to. He is an independent.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at right now too. He's an independent. Wow, interesting. So
apparently he has some issues with Congressman Biggs and decided to run against him. And it looks like he might, I don't know. He could be a spoiler because the race is tight. So I'm going to take back a little bit of what I said because I don't know how much Mr. Smith is a factor in this. He could be a little bit of a spoiler. So he might be taking votes away from Mr. Biggs or Congressman Biggs. So that's a race to watch then, because I did not realize there was a third party candidate that was viable, that was on the ballot. District 7, Mr. Raul Grahava. I don't even care about this. I think he's such a douchebag. I have no problem saying that. I just think he's just a pile of crap. His district is very solidly Democrat, so I'm sure he has no problem winning. But right now it's 22.66% showing. He is solidly ahead, 67%. He's got 7,596 votes to Luis Pozzolo. Sorry if I'm butchering his name. His votes only show 3,822. As far as I understand, this is a very solidly Democrat district, and Raul can basically literally get away with murder, and they would still vote him in. That's wow. The way I understand his district and the way that he is. So I don't know are you familiar with him?
No, not at all.
Raul, Congressman Raul. Yeah, he's just a.
I'm just looking at his.
I do not like the man. How about that? I'll try to keep it tame. It's just I don't have a lot of respect for this individual, but he is in a very solidly Democrat district, and he's probably going to win by a lot. Debbie Lesko looks like running unopposed in District 8. Yeah, there's no other candidate listed for. So Debbie Lesko looks like she's going to win no matter what. She's already showing 90% of the vote, but there's nobody running against her. So it's only a write-in.
Oh, those are.
Well, we're talking about District 8 right now. Debbie Lesko.
Oh, gotcha.
District 8. she is running unopposed. It looks like she's a shoo-in. So obviously she's running unopposed. Paul
How does that
Gosar
happen?
also looks like he is running unopposed. I'm really surprised at that. The Democrats wouldn't try to take him down because they hate him. But it looks like he's running unopposed. There's nobody on the ballot. So unless there's some weird thing that happens, it looks like Gosar's in again. So Gosar, it looks like he's solid.
Wow.
There's nobody running against him.
Wow.
Which really surprises me because I know that the Democrats hate Paul Gosar. I mean, they hate him, So I'm surprised they didn't try to run anybody against him. But I guess they just decided it wasn't worth it, that they just wouldn't win. So that's the state of the that's on the federal level. Let's take a look at the state. I'm sure you want to know about this. So we've got the race for governor, and this is obviously a big one. We are showing a turnout of just under 35%. So that, there's still a lot of votes outstanding. Katie Hobbs is showing a lead at 58%, 484,033 votes to Carrie Lake's 348,286 votes at 42%. And again, Rob, let's see what your reaction is to these numbers. What do you think?
I'll just call it right now. Carrie Lake better win. There's gonna be some really pissed off people. I'll tell you what, there's no way. Katie Hobbs she never even came out of the basement. She was in the basement the whole time, just like the other dude that won the presidency. Carrie Lake tore it up. She tore it up. There was no way Katie Hobbs can even compete. And these numbers, I'm telling you, there's something funky going on. I can see it. There's something going on. Matter of fact, there's another. I'm gonna go look at another channel real quick and find out what the heck's going on. And
well, this is not media stuff. I am giving you the real numbers from the Maricopa County Elections Office, so we don't need any spin or anything like that. We got the actual raw numbers from the Maricopa County Elections Department.
And she runs it.
And I do want to also specify again, these are only Maricopa County. We'll take a look at the state numbers after this, see if the state is starting to report any numbers from the other counties, okay? Because there are many other counties in Arizona. Maricopa just happens to be the largest, and Maricopa was the most controversial in the last election. That's one of the reasons that I'm focusing on Maricopa County right now. But again, I know I sound like a broken record to you, Rob, but the thing is, the conventional wisdom is this is what should be happening, because the conventional wisdom says the Democrats vote early, their votes are going to be recorded first, and then the Republican wave will start as the election day votes are counted. That's the way I interpret it. That's what I hope to see happen. You know what I mean? So I'm not discouraged. Personally, I'm not discouraged by these numbers. I just feel like this is par for the course.
Well,
in fact, this is actually what happened to Carrie Lake. But this is what happened to Carrie Lake also in the primary. The same thing happened against a Republican in the primary, where Carrie Lake came from behind because she encourages her voters to vote on the day of the election. So that's when she's going to get her big wave. Whereas Katie Hobbs, she is encouraging people to vote early, vote by mail, vote if they're dead, things like that. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Okay. But you know what I'm saying?
Whoops.
Yeah. Whoops. Oopsie. For state,
at least the numbers,
Senate,
at least the numbers aren't bad.
For state Senate, is there any particular races that you're interested in? Because there's a lot of them. So I'm just like, is there anybody that you're interested in for the state Senate?
No, that was my
going through them real quick. Because they don't show an R or a D, so I can't really put them in context. There is one race that I am very interested in. I actually think it's for state representative, if I'm right. I'm trying to find it. It's not even my district that I'm interested in, because my district, quite frankly, is very solidly Democrat, and I don't think it's been flipped the entire time that I've lived here. So I vote I voted for Republicans, but they never win in my district for the state legislature. It's very solidly Democrat where I live. So, but this is a race that I'm very interested in. This is for State Senator District 9, which is out in Mesa. And I have family that lives in this district. And Robert Scantlebury against Eva Birch. Eva Birch. Eva Birch is a Democrat. She's showing 60%. Turnout is only 28. It's just under 29%. She shows 18,692 votes. Robert Scantlebury shows 12,615 votes, 40%. I actually talked to Rob a couple weeks ago. I worked with Rob. Robert Scantlebury is a retired Mesa police sergeant. He is an awesome, awesome man. Eva put a hit piece on him. I saw it on YouTube. I was shocked when I saw it. I was absolutely shocked. I was disgusted by this woman. Wow. That she would make these terrible allegations against Rob that are totally bogus and BS. Robert's a family man. Yep. He's a man of honor. And I have no respect for this woman because there was no reason to go there and try to make things personal against Robert. Fight him on the issues, right? Fight him on the issues. And anyway, I'm very much hoping that Robert blows this person away. But right now it is showing that he is in a deficit.
Why are you being so nice?
When I talked to Rob, when I talked to Rob personally, he did tell me this is a very tight race, and Eva has got deep pockets. And this is one of those things where if you want to get conspiratorial, let's go there, Rob, because I don't understand how this Democrat, who I've never heard of, quite frankly, gets millions of dollars to run against, this person that I personally know, who's a real guy, a real dude, was a police sergeant, served with distinction, served with honor. He's just a guy. Ultimately, he's just a guy. He is not someone that's politically connected or something like that. He's just someone that cares about his community and has decided to run for office because there's issues that he cares about. And I'll tell you, the hit piece I saw that this woman did on him was disgusting. And it was on YouTube, and it was on my YouTube feed, which I'm like, why does YouTube think that I want this crap? Right? Because it's an algorithm, right? That YouTube sends you this stuff based on your behavior. So why are they sending it to me? And I know Robert personally. So I'm very much hoping that this race changes, that Robert wins soundly. But he did tell me, I talked to him personally. He did say it's a very tight race, and Eva has thrown millions of dollars. And the question becomes, where the hell is she getting all this money for a state race? Where is it coming from? Yeah. People talk about dark money. I'm putting out the question, where is Eva getting this money to run against Robert, a real man? You know what I mean? Where is it coming from? And then to do hit pieces on the man. On the man. So this is a race that I'm watching, Rob. I'm definitely watching this race. I definitely want to see Rob win this. And again, I just think what Eva has done, Eva Birch, I don't know the woman, but what her behavior is despicable. Yeah. And she's a big Nancy Pelosi person. She's got a picture of Nancy Pelosi on her site and everything like that. She's just like, yeah, rah, rah, rah. So I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that people in now this is Western Mesa, and West Mesa is probably a little bit more divided than say like East Mesa, right? But still, it's just like, it's amazing to me to think that people would even consider electing this woman in Mesa. I just, that kind of thing does boggle my mind, because we're talking about a state race. We're not talking about a national race, where the national races, no matter what, there's millions of dollars thrown into it. But we're talking about a state race here. And it's just amazing to me that they decided this was the place where the Democrats decided to try to flip the Arizona state legislature, because they're trying. The Democrats definitely want to flip the legislature in this state. And their tactics are deplorable.
Yeah. All right. What else? getting close to the time there.
So
what else?
let's see here.
Anybody else
We've
out there
got,
that you actually? Let's see who
Were you interested in any of the county races?
Not really. I just wanted to see the federals in the states because that's
I
the
am
ones
interested in the county attorney position right now.
Oh, yeah.
The Democrat Gunigli, I don't know what her name is, Julie. She is showing 56%, 426,917 to the 47% for Rachel Mitchell. She's a Republican. She's showing at 372,545. And again, I believe that this is because of the. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that again, I sound like a broken record, but the early votes they're going to tend to be Democrat. These are mostly Democrat votes. I mean, that's what all the polling data shows, is that the Democrats vote early, the Republicans vote on the day of the election.
Who's the guy? Who's the top cop running with Kerry Lake?
Oh, are you talking about? Oh, you know what? That's a state office. You know what? I didn't even see that. What happened to that?
Yeah,
okay, we got governor, and then it goes into the senators. Yeah, we didn't even get any of the state stuff. You're right. Where are they? Let me see. Where are they? Because you're talking about the attorney general, right? And
attorney general.
Where is that? Because we've got all the state reps, the state senators. This is weird. Where are they? Here we go. Glad you brought that up because these are important races. So Secretary of State, we've got the great Adrian Fontes. What a great individual he is. He's running against Mark Fitcham. Right now, Fontes is showing a big lead at 61%. With 500,567 votes compared to Mark Fitcham's 39%, which is 319,813. So again, we've got a Democrat showing a big lead.
It's almost the same. It's almost the same with every popular Democrat. It's almost the same score. 37% voted, right around there, 30 to 34%, or 35. And it's always almost in the 50 percentile, almost. Every single one of them. It's like clockwork. I'm telling you right now, I just smell something dirty. I can just tell right now.
Well, in the attorney general race, that's the one that you were interested in. The Democrat, Chris Mays, she's showing a 58%, 473,649 to Abraham Hamidi. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I apologize. He's showing 42%, 343,025. So he is also currently showing a deficit. Again, these are just the initial numbers. This is the first thing. We've got less than 35% reporting. State treasurer. Again, we've got the Democrat. Well, actually, no, this is pretty even. Martin Quezada, he is showing a small lead at 400. And they're both showing 50%, but he has 409,767,000. Kimberly Yee, the Republican candidate, she is showing 401,839. So very close race there, even with the early ballots. So I will predict that I think Kimberly Yee will probably win very soundly, because, again, the conventional wisdom says these are mostly Democrats voting. So apparently the Democrats do think Republicans are better with money. So that's the way that I interpret that as well. You know what I mean? So because weird stuff like that happens. Speaking of which, the common wisdom is that Democrats are better with education. So Kathy Hoffman, she is the incumbent. She is a Democrat. She is showing 58% of the vote, 470,245 votes, under 35% reporting. Tom Horn, the Republican challenger, he is showing 344,048 votes, 42%. But again, I do anticipate this race to tighten as we get those Republican the majority Republican votes from today start to pour in. But the conventional wisdom also is that Democrats are better at education. People think that. So state mine inspector, that's an uncontested race. It's a Republican, Paul Marsh, and he's got 95% of the vote. Of course, he's running unopposed. Corporation commission is something that people don't look at as much as they probably should. And I'm one of those people that right now, I can't remember who's who. I don't remember who the Republicans are and who the Democrats are in this race. But we're showing right now, because they take two, or is it 2 or 3? I think they take, I can't remember if they take 2 or 3. It's not just one for the Corporation Commission. But right now, Sandra Kennedy is showing the most votes, 28%. Lauren Kuby is right behind, 27%. Kevin Thompson is 23%, and Nicholas Myers is 22%. Based on what we've seen before, I'm going to guess that Kevin and Nicholas are the Republicans, and Lauren and Sandra are the Democrats. So it seems to be like that's kind of the story right now. We've got all the Supreme Court stuff. I'm not even getting into that because let's be honest, people have no idea when it comes to the judges, right? I mean, they just kind of do whatever they're going to do. So let's see. There was another county race I think I wanted to take a look at. The county clerk, Jeff Fine. Looks like he's running unopposed. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. Justice of the Peace, constable. So these are important positions, but they're local. So I'm going to move on from that. Okay, let's take a look at the state numbers real quick. Let's see if the state numbers are any different, because I don't know if there's been another update in the time that we've been doing this. So let me pull up the state numbers and see if we've got anything there. Now, of course, it is important to note that our Secretary of State is one of the candidates running for governor. So I guess you kind of have to take things with a grain of salt. This is the Secretary of State office. So let's press election night reporting. And nothing's happening. It says right here, the first batch of election results will be available after 8 p.m. on election night. Okay, well, give me the results then. Let me try this. See if this will refresh or whatever. Because right now, I think it's just the old page or something like that. Unofficial election night results. Election night reporting. And I'm not seeing the... there should be some tabs here. Because it says right here, it says there should be precincts. Click on precincts reporting at the top of the page. I don't see anything that says precincts reporting. I don't get this. Featured races. This is weird. I don't understand why it's not, the link doesn't seem to be working for the state. They should have results here.
Interesting.
But this is the Secretary of State's office, and it says right here. So there should be some tabs. There should be a tab that says precincts reported that I can click on, and it should give me the results. You can see there's a tab here that says election night reporting. I'm clicking on it, and nothing's happening. Here we go. 22 general election results. Let me try this. I'm actually opening this in another tab just so I can see what it says. Okay. All right. Looks like I got it. Let me take this one down. All right. Here we go. Okay. You see it okay?
Yeah.
All right. So this is the state. We're at 8:41 p.m. So we've got featured races: U.S. Senate, Mark Kelly, Blake Masters. Mark Kelly is showing 58% of the vote right now to 39.6. So we've got 766,669 for Mark Kelly. We've got 500,222 70 for Blake Masters. Let's see if they tell us what the how many votes. Let's see what they're reporting. Summary here. Nope, that's not it. Vote type. Okay, this is a good one right here, Rob. So this shows you where these votes are coming from, okay? So for Mark Kelly, actual polling place, it's 496,493. For Blake Masters at the polling place, it's 327,837. By early ballot, you've got Mark Kelly 270,176, and you've got Blake Masters 194,233. And the percent thing that I want to find is how many votes are outstanding. I think we've got to do by, well, actually, what if we do details? No, that's not going to be the right one. Let's see by county. All right, here we go. Here we go, Rob. So for the senator race, Apache County is at 0 right now. Cochise is at 0 right now. Coconino County is at 0 right now. Gila County is at 0, okay? Hey, Graham's got its act together. They're at 95%, okay? 95% of their precincts reporting. Greenlee County, 0. La Paz is at 100%. La Paz is saying they've already counted all of their votes. Maricopa County, this is saying 96% of Maricopa County. That's surprising. And then Mojave is 0. Navajo County is at 0. Pima County is at 0. Pinal County is at 0. Did you hear that, Rob? Pinal County is at 0. Santa Cruz is at 0. Yavapai County is showing almost 94%, and Yuma County is at 0. So these numbers are obviously the ones that are zeros. Like, for instance, you've got Cochise County with 0% of the precincts reporting, but they're still giving votes. So I would assume these are early ballot votes that we're seeing here, because they still have some from Cochise with 0% of the precincts reporting. So so there's still a lot of outstanding votes. There's a lot of counties. Obviously, Pima County is the second largest county in Arizona, and they're showing 0 right now for this race. I am really surprised to see that they're saying Maricopa at 96. I kind of want to look at the Maricopa site again to see if they updated, because that doesn't seem quite right. But that's what they're saying right now, that you know, most of the votes have been counted. So let's look at the governor race here. Vote type, not vote type, details, right? No, by county. There we go. So if we look at the governor's race here, again, Apache 0, Cochise 0, Coconino 0, Gila 0. Graham is showing over 95%. Greenlee is 0. La Paz is 100%. Again, Maricopa, they're saying 96%. 96% already.
That's almost done.
So
that's done.
Yeah,
done.
That's crazy to me. And they're showing a big lead for Katie Hobbs. And then Mojave is 0, Navajo is 0, Pima is 0, Pinal is 0, Santa Cruz is 0, Yavapai is almost 94%, and Yuma is 0. Yeah. So there are a lot of outstanding votes, but I'm going to agree with you. These Maricopa numbers don't jive in my head. These are alarming. I mean, what do you
telling
think?
you.
They're saying 96%,
Yeah.
almost 97% reporting.
Bells are
They're
going
saying
off everywhere.
Katie Hobbs got 484,033 votes to 348,286 for Carrie Lake. I mean, that pretty much like blows her out of the park. You know what I mean?
I tell you that we're getting scammed. Okay. I guarantee you, when this is all said and done, if they walk away, those people, all those Democrats that we've shown tonight are winning, and they do win, it's over. It's over. They've infiltrated the system so good. They've stolen the election again. I guarantee it. Because they didn't get rid of the half of the machines anyway. Machines are still in play. So that's why they have people watching the machine. And they never got rid of them. They never got rid of them. I'm telling you. Dirty.
Yeah, these
dirty.
are all showing
Dirty.
like Maricopa County at over 90%. I'm just looking
That's
at
right.
the other races just to see by county.
So
yeah, they're all saying Maricopa is like 97%.
So if you're Maricopa, the largest county in Arizona, is at 97%, and we have the most people. Why isn't Gila, Coconino, Graham, Cochise, Apache, Pima, now all those other ones, Santa Cruz? Look at Yavapai. Yavapai is even almost dead. I'm telling you right now, there's something going on. I know it. I can feel it. I can see it. I can feel it. There's something going on. I've seen this before. I was watching numbers years ago, and it's the same crap that's going on right at the get. They show you a little picture. Doesn't look right. And overnight, it hits. Boom. Then the numbers get dumped. Everybody's tired, like I am right now, getting ready to pass out. And they dump it on when you ain't looking. They just dump it right on you. It's over. It's done.
Well, I agree with you. Seeing these precincts numbers, I'm like, something's wrong here. This doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't.
It doesn't make sense at all.
When we were looking at the other ones, and the numbers appeared, at least the way I was interpreting it, they appeared to be very low, because I don't know what that number, that turnout number really is for the Maricopa County site. Because turnout usually means the percentage of voters, the percentage of eligible voters. That's what turnout normally means, right? Turnout usually means the percentage of voters that are eligible to vote, which showed very low, by the way. These numbers were showing extremely low, like 34%, something like that, of eligible voters, which also doesn't sound right. So, but then when you start looking at these precincts, at how the precincts are reporting, then it gets really weird to me. And I start to share your concerns, because I'm like, that doesn't seem right at all. I cannot believe
right at all
that they could possibly be winning by those kinds of numbers. So I feel like we're missing something here. You know what I mean? I feel like we're missing something here, and I don't know exactly. Obviously, there are a lot of other counties that haven't reported in. That should be noted as well.
That's true.
Including the second largest, which is Pima County, right? So Pima County is the second largest county, and they're showing zeros. But then they have numbers, so I'm guessing the numbers are early votes. That's the only thing I can guess, is that because they're saying that they're not the precincts, so they must be the mail-in votes, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it's like that doesn't make any sense. Why does it say Pima 0%, but then we've got numbers? We've got numbers for both. The only one that's zeros across the board is Apache. Apache doesn't have anything. So I don't know what's going on in Apache County, but apparently, they're stuck or something. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you later. I gotta run here in a minute. I gotta eat some food here, but after I get done there, I'm going to come back for 5 or 10 minutes. And I'm going to jump on some other sites that
Well,
I normally would.
Okay, while you're eating, I'll continue looking at some of these numbers, and I'm also going to hop on Twitter and just see what the analysts are saying, and I will share that with our audience. And then when you come back, I'll give you an update on what it is that I found out. How's that sound?
Well, that's fine. To be honest with you, besides that, it's going to take a little while for me to get stuff going, but I'll keep in touch with you here and we'll figure this out and see what's going on. But let me take care of this stuff and I'll get back to you here shortly. And I'm going to turn this down a little bit too because I got to go out and take care of some stuff here with the family real quick. So, okay, so we're going to keep this live. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to delve into this a little bit just to see if I can maybe figure out. I might be missing something here because I don't want to be putting out bad information or whatever. But I'm going to hop on Twitter and I'm going to. I'll keep the broadcast going, and then once you're done eating, you can pop back in, and I'll let you know if I found out anything and kind of got an answer for you of, hey, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? So
okay. All right, let me take care of that. Yeah, and I'll be back shortly.
All right, sounds good.
All right, bye.
All right. So Robert has left to go get some dinner. Obviously, we're seeing some sort of troubling numbers here. So I'm going to go to our friend Twitter, which hasn't always been our friend. It certainly isn't always my friend. But I'm going to go over here on Twitter. Let me go ahead and change this format for you so that you can see what I'm seeing a little bit better. Because these numbers don't make sense to me, and I feel like I'm missing something here. So let's see. It's a packed house at the Republican Party election event in Scottsdale. The speakers are starting now. That's 54 minutes. Let's try to get to the most recent stuff. Coconino Recorder. We have about 9,450 early ballots that are yet to be processed and counted. These are from yesterday and today's mail and from our ballot drop boxes. There will be more unprocessed early ballots coming from polling locations. We'll report those numbers tomorrow. All right, so we've already got something right here where Coconino is saying they've got a bunch of early ballots that are yet to be processed, and they're already done. So Coconino County has already kind of thrown in the towel, it looks like. That's interesting. Wall Street Journal, pivotal races. Let's see. I'm going to go to the election page just to see what we got going on the national scale. Democrat, Vermont. All right. This is from the Data Guru. So he is a numbers guy. Now this says EVs only, early votes only. Okay. That was what I call the conventional wisdom, right? So this is from 1 minute ago. This is from the ABC 15 data guru, Garrett Archer. He is considered definitely the data guru when it comes to elections. And he is saying these are early votes only. I assume that's what he means by EV. So I'm definitely going to talk to Rob about this. That seems to be the case where it says he's saying early votes only. That seems to be what he's saying. Let me go on his site and see what else he's saying. This is a decent starting block for most Ds in Arizona. It's going to be a close night. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is good. You know, I have to admit when I'm a little bit out of my depth. And so I'll definitely have some stuff to talk to Rob about as far as what's going on here. It looks like these are early votes only. And so there is plenty more to be counted. Plenty more to be counted. Pima earlies. New state totals missing Apache. So we've got these huge leads by the Democrats. Yeah. He notes that obviously Pima is notable because it's the second most populous county in Arizona, and it's also very Democrat, and that is true. But the big takeaway that I got is that we're really only talking about early votes, and so I'm going to definitely talk to Rob about that when he comes back. So I think we got an answer there. Somehow I was just misinterpreting the numbers, which, I mean, it says precincts reporting. If it says 96% of the precincts are reporting, then that to me is a done deal, right? So obviously something I'm missing something in the analysis or the way that I was interpreting this. All right, let's see what we've got going on nationwide. Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa has been elected to serve a new 6-year term. This guy's 89 years old. The next governor of Pennsylvania will be Josh Shapiro, who has defeated an anti-Semitic January 6th insurrectionist. Okay, yeah, I don't need that kind of propaganda on here. Let's see. Let's go to one of the tickers. I have the Politico ticker, so I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this, and let's see where we go. I'm going to go with the Senate election results. Here we go. So let me refresh this, because I think this was an old. All right. Actually, I think this is up to date now, but I just wanted to make sure that I refresh this. So right now it's showing even 43 Dems and 43 GOP. And yeah, that's it. That's where we're showing the Senate right now. Okay. So I guess nothing big there. Actually, let me look at I want to look at Pennsylvania. That's a big race. I know that. Let's see. Let's look at Pennsylvania. Where is Pennsylvania? There we go. All right, Pennsylvania. There we go. So they do show a lead for Fetterman. He is showing, what is the percentage? 64% of the votes in, but it is within basically 2%. 2% with 64% of the votes in. Interestingly enough, it looks like the Libertarian Party could be a spoiler in this because they're polling over 1%. I mean, granted, that's not 2%, but that's interesting that the Libertarian could be a spoiler. And, the conventional wisdom is that Libertarians take votes away from Republicans. But very, very tight in Pennsylvania. Let's see. What are some of the other races? Georgia's a big one. Walker is showing a lead, 49%. To Warnock's 48.8%. So he is showing a lead with 74% of the votes in. So that's definitely looking good for the Republicans. That's one of the seats that they definitely want. I know that. I heard Nevada was one that was pretty important. Where is Nevada here? There we go. 0%. There's no reporting there, probably because their polls are still open. So that's disappointing. Arizona, they are showing only 47% of the votes are in. Again, this now makes a lot more sense, but very, very solid lead by Kelly. Very, very solid lead over Blake Masters. Yeah, it's obviously not unsurmountable, but I would say, based on what the data guru was saying, that these are good indications for the Democrats. Colorado just went in play. They already gave the Democrat. California, they've already given the Democrat there. The checkbox with 0% reporting. That to me is very irresponsible. You know, I realize the polling numbers and I realize it's California, but to me, you've got 0%. And just because the polls closed, because it's now, I guess, 8 o'clock in California. I'm guessing that's when the polls close in California. They just give it to them. That seems irresponsible to me. I'm just going to call that out. What was the other race that I heard was pretty important? Nevada, Pennsylvania, Georgia, obviously Arizona was one that people were looking at, which again really looks bad right now for the Republican candidate. But as far as the balance of power, it's still showing 50-50, 44 to 44. 44 to 44. Let's look at the House. So right now they're showing 77 Democrats to 122 Republicans. Let's see some of these races in Arizona. Lesko's uncontested. Gosar was uncontested. They're showing Democrat Engel 40%. It's District 6. Biggs is showing a slight lead over Ramos, with Smith still kind of being in a factor of a spoiler. Crane, Republican, he is showing 50% to 49% for the Democrat challenge, but only 46% of the votes. What we got here? Hodge is showing a lead, really substantial lead over Schweikert. That's very hard for me to believe. That's my district. And well, I mentioned my state district is definitely very solidly Democrat. My congressional district has not been. I mean, Schweikert has always won pretty handily. And they're showing 58% of the vote in, and Schweikert is getting his butt kicked. That's alarming to me. That doesn't seem right to me. It really doesn't. Gallego, yeah, my understanding is he's just in a very solid Democrat district. He can do whatever. He can do no wrong. Grijalva, he is showing solid. Grijalva is another one of those guys that he could murder someone and they would still vote for him. He could be dead and they would still vote for him. But I'm really surprised about Schweikert getting hit this bad. Yeah, this is weird to me. It really is. It's very weird to me. Gonzalez, where's Crenshaw's district? I'm curious if I can find Crenshaw's district. I see him on Twitter a lot and stuff like that, and I'm just curious how he's doing. I don't have any idea where his district actually is. Like physically. I would think, there we go. Crenshaw's already been called. It looks like he got 63% to 33. So Crenshaw looks like he's already been called. Massey, where's Massey at? He's in Kentucky, right? Yeah, Massey real solid. He's another one that I really like. So Massey looks like he's all good. And again, it looks like as far as the House is concerned, there are more Republican districts being called than Democrats. So that's good for the Republicans there. Hey, you back, Rob? Got some answers for you.
Did you? Can you hear me?
Well, I can hear you now.
Okay,
but I got
good.
for you. Okay, so
Yeah.
the percentages are not the way that I interpreted them. If we go to this map, this is for the Congress, and this is from Politico. You can see. We'll take, for instance, here. Let's take Ramos and Biggs. Okay, you can see here it says 49% of the votes are in. Okay, so it is showing Biggs with a slight lead. He's the Republican over Ramos, and it does show less than 50% of the votes are in. So the way that I interpreted it somehow was wrong. Of course, that doesn't show you what county, but by the state, there's still 50% of the votes outstanding. So there's still a lot of votes to be counted. These races haven't been decided, but I'm really shocked. I was looking at my congressional district, if you can see it, Arizona's first district with Hodge and Schweikert, and they show Hodge is like destroying Schweikert. And they're saying 58% of the vote is in, and that does not seem right to me. I live in this district. Now, like I said, the state district I live in is pretty solidly Democrat. It's been Democrat pretty much the entire time I've lived here. But this congressional district has been pretty much Republican the entire time I've lived here. So to see Hodge beating Schweikert that bad, that's weird to me. I have to say that is definitely weird to me. But that's what that. But again, and well, that one is showing 58%. I mean that seems like it'd be very hard for Schweikert to pull this one out. 58% of the vote in my congressional district has been counted according to this, according to Politico. Well, these don't break down the county. They just tell you the entire state because this is for national. So this doesn't break down every county. This is again from Politico. But what it tells me is that a lot of the votes are still outstanding. A lot more than I had initially thought, you know. So a lot of these races, like for instance, this one with Stanton and Cooper, it's still less than 50% for Arizona's 4th district. And that looks like a district in Maricopa County. So a lot of these votes have still not been counted. They still haven't been processed. The 3rd district, Gallegos district, they're only showing 37% of the vote right now. But it does look solidly Gallego. He's got 80% to Zink's less than 20%. But still, my point is that there's a lot of votes outstanding. And by the way, right now they're showing 136 seats for the Republicans and 84 seats for the Democrats for the House.
Really?
So right now, the GOP definitely has a lead over the Democrats for the House right now. But we need 218 for a majority. So right now, nationally speaking, the Republicans seem to be poised to take the House. But there's still a lot of votes to be counted. Obviously, I think California, literally while you were eating, I think their polls closed because they did call some of the races in California right. I mean, immediately, like at 9 o'clock. So I'm assuming that they just closed their polls. Which, by the way, I was looking. Actually, I think I can show you. I was looking at the Senate races. So let's go to the Senate. And if you look at the Senate races, like I went over to California because California just suddenly lit up when I was showing this, and they have 5% of the vote counted, and they've already given the vote. They've already given it to the Democrat with 5%.
Really?
Just because I guess just based on exit polls. So I think that's kind of wrong, but they've already given it to the Democrat for Senate in California with 5%. Right. Yeah, with 5%. So one of the races that I know is pretty important, obviously, is the Pennsylvania race. We talked about that earlier. Very, very close. So they're showing 67% of the vote is in, and Fetterman has a very slight lead over Oz. So they're showing Oz at 49.4%. They're showing Oz at 48.3%. But here's the interesting thing. We've got a spoiler. We've got a libertarian candidate that's polling over 1%. And typically, libertarians take votes from Republicans. So it is very possible that if this race remains as close as it is, that this Gerhardt person may have denied Oz his Senate seat, because you can see how close it is. It's almost within a percentage point right now, and the Libertarian has over 1%. You see that?
Yeah,
that's with 67%. So there are still many votes to be counted in Pennsylvania, so that's good. Georgia was another one I know that we were interested in. Walker is showing a lead. 75% of the votes counted, so that's getting pretty close, but it's also a very close race. So Walker is showing 49.3% to Warnock's 48.7%. So Walker is showing a slight lead, but obviously it could tighten up. And again, we've got a bit of a spoiler here. Look at Oliver, the Libertarian candidate. He's got over 2%. So if Oliver, assuming Oliver is mostly taking Republican votes, if Walker had Oliver's votes, he'd probably be a shoo-in. You know what I mean? But Oliver might be a spoiler there. You know. Are there any other Senate or congressional races you were interested in?
Not really. I just I wanted to see the numbers. That was the biggest thing tonight, was looking at numbers and figuring.
Well, let's see how they report the state races. So we've got for Arizona, they say again only 48%, only 48% for Senate. And they're showing Kelly ahead, pretty heavy lead, 58% to Masters, 39%. But they're saying under 50% of the votes have been tabulated at this point. 48%. They're saying 48%, but that is a pretty sharp lead by Kelly. Was there any other races or anything that you wanted to take a look at, or?
No, just wanted to see that. We had a pretty good show tonight. I'm glad we put that out for a lot of people to see. Not just for tonight, but forever, because it'll be out forever. So anybody out there wants to just look at a lot of the numbers that we threw out there tonight, and if any suspicions, at least you got the numbers in front of you, and we'll have it. We'll always have it. So we're just gonna keep our eye on it. And there's some. I tried to find some other details, but I couldn't find it right now. Just things are a little just happening too fast.
I do want to share with you one resource that I have from Twitter.
Yeah.
This guy, he works for ABC News, and I got a couple more of his tweets on our official Twitter. He calls himself the data guru, Garrett Archer. You may have heard of him, Garrett Archer. Yeah. He does basically all the analysis for ABC 15. So it says here, let's see here. So he did this breakdown for about 19 minutes ago, and he said Arizona statewide roll up minus Apache, and he said EVs only. So I assume that means early votes only, right? So he was showing these percentages here, which again, they're heavily Democrat, heavily leaning towards Democrat in actually every single race, with the exception of the treasurer. The treasurer is showing 50-50, which is interesting also. Like if all these people are Democrat, why is the treasury race so close? It's interesting there. Go ahead.
No, again, same stuff. There is some crazy stuff going on. There is no. I'm out there. I'm outside.
Yeah.
I'm hanging with people. I hang with hundreds of people a day. Hundreds. And they're all starving, struggling, making decisions that they don't want to do because they have to. And these people are winning. And they're winning by a lot. And some of them are even close to the 60% mark, just surpassing the people that are trying to get us back to normalization here. And it doesn't look right. Doesn't feel
Yeah.
right. There's something going on. There's something going on there. And this is what we're expecting. We're expecting and for a steal. That's what's happening. There's a steal here. We need to get this stopped. And I'll find out what's going on because I'll sit down for hours and just look at stats. I'll find it. I found it last time. I'll find it this time. And I'm sure somebody already knows what's going on. I'm sure there's several people that know what's going on. I need to find those
Well,
people.
I will say this, Rob. It's interesting because the national picture right now is looking pretty good for Republicans, but it's Arizona that specifically is looking real bad right now. And I wouldn't have thought that. If anything, I would think that it would kind of maybe go bad nationally, but we'd be good here. You know what I mean? And it is concerning. I definitely agree with you. I am concerned about it because these numbers are pretty disheartening. I mean, I brought out all my little party stuff. I'm not going to be able to use it. You know what I mean? So it's like, right now I'm pretty bummed. But I am glad that the national picture is looking pretty good right now. I would like it to be solid. I would like it. The biggest thing for me personally is I really want to see the House flip because I do not want Nancy Pelosi to be the speaker anymore. So the House flipping is the most critical to me. But my district right now, the Republicans getting killed, and Schweikert's the incumbent, and he looks like he's getting annihilated, and that does look wrong to me because I live here. You know what I mean? I live here, and I know how this district has been. Now Schweikert has had scandals. Don't get me wrong. Schweikert does have vulnerabilities because he's had several scandals. He's been censured by Congress. He's had campaign finance problems. Okay. So he is vulnerable. And I kind of wish Schweikert had just stepped out. He kind of should have just left in some ways. But even with all that, it's like what you said, just with the state of the economy and with everything going on, you would think that Democrats would be in real trouble, especially out here. I can't speak for California. I mean, we've been to California and it seems like they've lost their minds, but
Yeah.
I didn't think Arizona had lost their minds. But maybe this is also indication that this is in fact becoming just a little California, which is really concerning for me. I'm like, I've been thinking for a long time about going somewhere else. And this kind of result, if this is where we're headed, I'm like, I got to start thinking about that more seriously.
Right. Well, let's see if I can real quick here. I'm going to look up something real fast and see if I can find something here. Is this it right here? This is it right here. ITV. Let's see if I can find it. Well,
it does look like there is a projection from Fox News that the Republican candidate for Senate in Ohio, Vance, has won. They've called that race.
Vance won?
Vance. They're calling Vance in Ohio.
Oh, good. Well, that's a Republican. Yeah.
Yep. Vance is a Republican, and Fox News 2 minutes ago called the race for him in Ohio. So let me check real quick what's going on with the overall Senate.
Okay, let me step
Still
off
45 to 45. Okay. You're gonna step off for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
So I'll go ahead and share this. So Let me get the Senate results. Says no red wave yet in battle for the Senate. So it's still 45 to 45. And again, in those contested races, Oz is still trailing. In Georgia, Walker is still leading. Do they have Nevada finally? No, still no Nevada. I know that was one that said could possibly be contested. Lee showing a big lead, but only 15% of the numbers. These numbers in Arizona are concerning to me. They really are. Living here and being on the ground, seeing Kelly that far ahead of Masters, when all the polling showed that they were so neck and neck, that is concerning to me. And it does make me wonder what the heck is going on. I've seen weird things here in Arizona before, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's weird to me. I mean, there are others that obviously understand the things better. I'm not trying to claim that I'm an expert, but I can look at some of this stuff just the same as anybody else. I may not understand all the terms, but I can still look at it, and I can see different little patterns and be like, this doesn't quite look right. But as I've mentioned, though, a lot of these races, particularly in Arizona, we're still under 50% of the results. So that is something to take heart. I'm going to look at this Maricopa thing again. So, all right.
So let me tell you what I'm seeing. I'm looking at the algorithm of.
Okay.
Are you still there? Okay. I'm looking at the algorithm of real time. This is live. I finally found it. And they're showing each race at a time. And they're showing, hold on one sec here. They're actually, let me send you over where I'm at here.
Yeah, that'd be great if you could share that.
If you can bring it up.
Should be where it says present, and then you should be able to share a screen.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
So if you press present, there should be another option that says share screen, and then we can put that up.
Let's see how that works. How do I do that?
You don't see the one that says the
share
icon on the bottom
screen.
says. Yeah, you press it.
Windows. Can you see this?
No. You have to go to whatever the file is and then click on it.
It's a file.
It should be. What are you opening it in? Are you using Chrome? What are you using?
I found it on Facebook. It's live right now.
Okay, but what are you using to look at Facebook? Are you using Chrome or are you using something else?
I'm using I don't know.
Okay, well, you press the present button, then you press the share screen, then you press share screen again, and then it'll say like entire screen, window, or Chrome tab.
Okay, let me say window, Chrome tab. Oh, I see what you're saying. Is this it? No, this ain't it. That's not it. Um, okay, I'm not. It's not. That's not it. That's not it. Sure. Do you see anything?
No, you gotta you press present, you press share screen, then you
Okay,
press
hold
share
on one
screen
second.
again.
Okay, so let me start. Let me start over. Okay, hit present.
And then you press share screen.
Okay,
Then you press share screen again.
okay.
Then it should say something. There should be 3 tabs: entire screen, window, or Chrome tab. And then you got to see if you can find it in there.
Um,
You see the tabs: entire screen, window, and Chrome tab.
yeah,
Okay,
there it is,
press.
right there.
All right, and then
Share.
you just click on it. And you got to click on the file, then you can share it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk tomorrow, but anything you got, I want to collaborate with you because this is still time crime. We need to show the whole world this was a massive, massive effort to steal our country, and it started a long time ago.
Mike, let me just close with one thing. You got everybody could still get the app Votify now. And by the way, when I say hold on to it, I'm talking about until tomorrow. By no means are we thinking of holding on to it. Yeah, so by tomorrow, let's definitely talk. We'll start sharing it with people, and we've got it all filed in a database to share with a push of a button. So yeah, I'm with you. We don't want to hold on. We're just going to share it. Exactly. And I appreciate having me on.
Right on. Is there anything that stands out that you were you surprised this morning of all the machine malfunctions across our country? And we just have 2 more states. We're up to 19 states we've heard from. It's all they had all day long was machine malfunction.
I'll tell you, I wish that I could tell you I was surprised. I was not surprised, but I was surprised at some of the disappointing people reporting things like showing up. Example, many people in Arizona got a mail-in ballot, an early mail-in ballot. They said they reported, no, we don't want this. We're going to go in person to vote. And they show up today and they were told, you already voted. So these are kind of, just
well, I'm glad you have a lot. If you have a lot of those, because those we've told the country, go call your sheriff immediately. If you have all those, we'll get those to the sheriffs. They'll have a lot of power. Like we have our attorney Kurt Olson on here, and he's going. The power lies in the county. They can open up, do these audits, and when we talk about audits, let's open up the machines. Let's see what's going on inside there in this where they send a vote out and it comes back something else.
Rob, are you able to mute that?
Love the good work and keep gathering information. I'm sure it's just pouring in.
I probably can't.
And coming on, Johnny.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is obviously my pillow guy, right?
Well, that's
Lindell,
him. But it's you missed the graphs. They have the speakers on. They have these guys. They have these guys that are here. Let me turn my stuff back on. They have these guys monitoring everything that's going on. And seriously, for real, these guys are getting paid a lot of money to sit down and find. And you just heard one little section there where people are showing up to vote, and they've already voted. That's already happened again. That happened last time. Now it's happened again. That's the first time I've heard that. But they're
Yeah,
also talking.
that's actually the first time I heard that too, and that's obviously really concerning. If people did,
It is.
in fact, get early ballots when they did not request them, first of all, that's a problem because that's a definite recipe for fraud. But if they got these
right.
early ballots and then they said, "Hey, I didn't want this. I'm going to vote in person," and then they show up at the voting center and they're told, "Well, you already voted. You're SOL, man. You already voted," and that's concerning. That's really concerning.
If you want to find out what's going on now, there's some big guys on this show. You got Roger Stone on here. You got all the big dogs, the ones that went to prison for Trump, all kinds of Michael Flynn, the General Flynn. He's on the show.
What's the site? What is it?
It is called Frank, the Voice of Free Speech. So it's Mike T. It's Frank. Matter of fact, there he is right there. Let's let me see if I can get him to turn on here for a second.
Election. And so you can look at Pennsylvania. It was reported 2 weeks ago that 250,000 ballots.
There's Roger Stone right there.
No voter,
This is live.
I would encourage any of those candidates in particular.
It's called Watch Lindell TV live 24/7.
I didn't even know he had a channel.
Yep, sure does.
With the number of voters who were recorded as having voted. That did not occur in 2020. The final numbers were in, and there were still 120,000 more ballots than recorded voters. And that election should never have been certified under Pennsylvania law. And so that is something.
So this is what I was trying to find earlier, and I couldn't find it. I just found it.
And you said this is on his Facebook page?
This is let me see if I can bring up where is it at? Share this tab. It is. Let me see if I can. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm putting it out there for you. Can you see at the top?
What where is it?
Frank. It's www.frankspeech.com.
Franks. Okay. All right, looks like I found it. I'll go ahead and just put a link there in the chat.
Yeah, just watch it, see what you think. This is the stuff that, the thing is about Mike Lindell. He's been doing it for so long. He's a little high strung, but he has the top guys in the world working for him, and it's really crazy stuff. But it's real, and these guys know it. General Flynn, Snow, all these guys, all of them, and it ain't just these guys. They got Marjorie Taylor. They got everybody on this show, and they already know. They know what's going on behind the scenes, and they've been trying to tell everybody, but their Facebook was shutting them down, YouTube, Twitter, everybody was just choking them out and getting rid of them. And they were trying to tell everybody, but he got smart, and he actually hired on these professionals. And the professionals have been monitoring everything that's happening. Wirelessly, hardlined, and the complaints. They have people calling them and sending them messages of what's happening, just like what you heard just a minute ago. The ballots coming to their house, like 3, 4 ballots. And they're like, why are you sending me so many ballots? Then they go down, they go, hey, we told you we're going down and we're going to do it ourselves. They go down, they go, yeah, you've already voted. We already got you down. They're like, who did I vote for? Well, they ain't going to tell you. They're not going to tell you. And that's, you can imagine that times hundreds of thousands of people. And that's what's going on. And it's happening live right now. So, and then all the malfunctions, 19 states have machine functions, big time malfunctions, not just little ones. So that's what happened last time. And it wasn't just malfunctions. They snuck in the votes, they pulled them out, changed them, and put them right back in, right under everybody's noses. So check that out. You'll see graphs. They'll show algorithms exactly minute by minute from when it started. It's still going on right now. It's live. He's going to do this for the next week straight, 24 hours a day, right down to the 60 minutes an hour to the second. This guy's good. He's pretty good. He might be a little crazy, but he's good. He's very passionate. So, but anyways, I gotta let you go here. I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. I mean, I have to get up early too. So.
Oh yeah. If you get a chance.
Well, this is not what I was really hoping for. I was really. It's not what I was expecting either. I gotta say, I was.
I mean, I'm happy that the House is winning, but what's going on with the Senate? Schumer's back in business? Come on.
Well, right now, on Politico, they're still showing 46-46. So they're basically showing no change. It's still 50-50. Yeah. So, but we've got those big races. In Georgia, we've got the big race in Pennsylvania. Those are close races. We'll still have to see what happens there. But right now, the way they're reporting it, it feels like Blake Masters doesn't even have a chance, that he's just blown out of the water. That's what it feels like, It just feels like he has no chance at this point.
Katie Hobbs is winning. She never even came out of the basement.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Everybody else out there, hope you enjoyed the show. Hopefully, you guys learned a little bit of what's going on, and hopefully we're wrong. But we all just want what's right for every American. So that's what it comes down to. And so we can all survive and just move on with life, and especially us, so we can get on with our business.
Yeah.
That we want to do. Yeah.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
It would be nice. It would be nice. All right, man.
You got it.
Were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I mean, the problem is, just talking about us, it's like the environment right now, it's so hard to get people to invest in anything because everybody's scared. The inflation's so bad, nobody wants to invest right now. You kind of have to be insane, to invest in anything other than energy right now. Energy is a good investment. But there's very few good investments right now. I recently purchased some stocks with my with the money I made from the Twitter deal, because remember I bought that Twitter stock.
Yeah.
And I've already lost money just right out the gate. I thought I did some solid bets there, and no. So it's like already like I'm in the hole again. It's just like, so it's like in this environment, how do you even find investors? How do you even get people In our case, we're filmmakers. It's like
only
it's
the rich. Only the rich know. They trade between themselves.
Trading what? That's my point, Rob. Trading what? The only solid bet right now, like I said, I think that I can think of is energy. I watch CNBC all the time, so that's what rich people watch. And I think I told you before. You know what they're advocating? They're advocating 2-year treasury bonds. They've never advocated treasury bonds, and 2-year yield treasury bonds are 4%. That's not inflation. Inflation's what, like 7%? You're not even hitting inflation if you got a 4% yield on a treasury bond.
That's right.
But it's like better than nothing, right? It's better than 2%. What? It's not even like 2%. It's like 1% in the bank in a savings account, right?
But they're putting their without getting to a whole nother conversation, but they're just putting money. They're putting money somewhere and they're sorting it like a little pack rat. They're just popping it somewhere, leave it there, let everything take a hit, because nothing's going to happen to those bonds. Those bonds ain't going to lose no money. And who cares? It's a safe place to put it until everything crashes around them. And then when it's looking good outside, they just look around and say, "Is it over?" Okay. And then they pull out their bonds and cash them in and start buying everything all over again. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. I guarantee it.
Well, they're losing.
That's
They're
what
still
it is.
losing money. The bottom line is, if your treasury bond is a 4% yield and inflation is 7%, you're losing 3% for 2 years.
Right. That's right.
So I mean, it's just math. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the only thing I can think of these days is like rental property. Rental property seems to be like the only real money maker. You know what I mean? Is if you own rental property and you can charge somebody and you can jack up their rent every time that the inflation goes up, that's about the only way you can make money right now. Yeah. So that's how it feels to me.
I need that one. I already know that one.
But that's how it feels to me right now. If I'm trying to find something where it's all like, even just to, because I got to get 7%, right? Because if inflation's 7%, I got to get at least 7% just to tread water, just to break even. It's math, right? So it's simple, but it's not, because it's so hard to find something like that right now.
Right.
I mean, every single one of my mutual funds is taking huge hits. I can't even find an individual stock that can perform well. Again, the only thing that I can think of is these energy stocks, but the problem is, you don't ever really want to buy into something when it's exploding. You want to buy into it when it's low, when it's depressed, right? I mean, that's the general strategy. But at this point, it's like, you know what? Maybe I just need to take the hit and buy some Exxon or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
What else can I do?
All right. Well, let me let you go. I'm going to go.
I know we're ending on a nice depressing note here. So we're bummed.
Well, that's okay. All right. We'll be all right. Everybody else, they'll be okay too. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, at least for now. At least for right now. So, all right. So anybody or everybody, I should say, enjoy your evening. Mr. Base God 14, enjoy your evening, and I will talk to you shortly. And Bad Bob out. See you later.